Red Corner Boxing. We're in the game.
Yes, guys. Very good. Welcome to Red Corner Boxing. You were jamming Mr. Neutral as always, and we're here for our weekend preview show. Just before we get into it, we're just going to say we're proudly sponsored by Easy Storage, your place to go for all your storage needs, and our apparel supplier, the Boxing Fight Zone. Check them out at boxingfightzone.com. Right then, just want to say before we get into it as well, Neutral, happy Thanksgiving to all our American followers and watchers and subscribers. Hope you have a blessed day with your families, your friends. Hope it's a blessed one, I really do. Right, we're going to start in Birmingham, Mr. Neutral. We're going to start with the main event of the evening. We've got Ben Whittaker versus Benjamin Gavazi. This is for the vacant WBC silver light heavyweight title. I think most people are thinking Ben Whittaker. He's not really proved it yet, you know. He had a real tough time with Liam Cameron in the first fight, as we know, with that technical draw, where a lot of people called him a quitter. So he's got a lot to prove still. I know he knocked him out in the second round in the rematch, which is all good, but it doesn't get rid of that memory of what happened there. And he's up against Benjamin Gavazi, who's 19-1-0 from Germany. He's a tough guy. His only defeat was on his debut, and that was against Rostam Ibrahim, who's fighting Gradus Kraus in the main event in Rotterdam this weekend.
Glad you noticed that. Yeah, well done.
Yeah, so some good fights, mate. There's some good fighters going on tonight. We're not covering the GBM card, but I thought I'd give that a special mention as he lost on his debut to him. So he's been in some good fights, mate. He's not a mug. You know, Hawkan knows a lot about him, and he said he's decent. He's Team Gavazi for this one. Ben Whittaker's got a lot to prove, Mr. Neutral. What do you think?
I think Ben Whittaker, since he's moved to Matchroom, has put his big boy pants on, and he's actually knuckled down to the art and craft of boxing. And it's exactly what he needed, because the antics with Liam Cameron won. You know, as you rightly say, people remember, but I don't think I think he should be forgiven for that, because there was a lot of back and forth, but a bit of hype. He was getting overexcited. People were, pointing out that, he's got ADHD or something like that, hence the showboating. But I just think that's part of him. And, it's just part of his program. But the good thing is, though, Gavazi will be his toughest test to date, because, he is very good. He's got 3 knockouts in his last 4 fights. He's done a 10-rounder as well. He's at that level where this is the sort of guy you got to beat, where you got to move on to the next level. Having said that, I'm not fancying a Whittaker knockout. I fancy Whittaker by a wide UD, because I know what he's capable of, especially watching him at Olympic level and then rising through the ranks. Frustrating at times because overdoes it, overcooks it with the showboat. It doesn't have to. If he was a bit more subtle with it, it'd be beautiful to watch on top of his skills. But yeah, I'm expecting a real wide UD showing to get that gateway belt and really get his name out there. But he needs to impress the Yanks here as well. I know the Yanks can't watch it on BBC, so that's a bit of a problem. So they'll have to rely on second-hand information from the likes of Red Corner Boxing.
That is very true, matey. Yeah, I've also heard now that it might be available on Triller TV worldwide.
Well,
so they may be able to get it.
Then.
So hopefully, yeah, because there's talk about Ben Whittaker, should he win, which is expected, then he will be going stateside next for his next fight. Even David Benavidez has not called him out, but mentioned his name. He said he wants to fight in England. He wants to fight at Wembley. And he said maybe against Ben Whittaker down the line. We're a long way from that yet, aren't we, to be truthful, Neutral?
Yeah, absolutely. He's still got to work his way through, these ranks. But having that, if he wins this WBC international belt, well, should he put on a really good performance, then the promoters will maximize, that potential with that belt to, a real good shot at somebody real soon.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. So we just are you having a bit of sound difficulty there, Mr. Neutral?
I'm just having my notifications go off on my phone.
Oh, is that what it was? Bless you, mate. No worries, pal. Mine's like that, so it's just popping off constantly. It does me nothing, honestly. But yeah, so we're both in agreement. It's going to be a Ben Whittaker unanimous decision job here, isn't we? Pretty much wins every round.
Yeah.
Looks a little bit flashy, a little bit good. and then goes to America, and let's see what he can do when he's over there.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at the landscape over there at 175. It's not strong, so I wouldn't be surprised if he moves to Riyadh, especially with this upcoming season. Between October and March of 2026. So I expect him to be out before that, and Matchroom will want to maximise that hype, as I was saying before.
Yeah, absolutely, matey, absolutely. What we got here? Raj just says a 28-year-old who's an Olympic medalist shouldn't need building. The guy he beat, Katayev, already been in with Morel, and the guy he's fighting next arguably beat Jack. So yeah, that's it, mate. That's the thing. He's a very slow process, mate. I think
It's
that
the
Liam
belt,
Cameron
though,
draw
isn't it?
set him back a lot.
Yeah, it's this belt, though. They desperately need this gateway belt so to justify stepping over guys like that. I totally get it. And do you know what? To be fair, there's very few promoters better than Matchroom for getting these gateway belts. If you look at the way the WBO set them up, you got certain promoters that use these sanctioning bodies gateway belts to uplift the boxes. It's nature of the game.
Yeah, it's pretty much it's par for the course, isn't it? That's what them belts are for.
Yeah.
Them belts are to get yourself into the mix, to get a name, to get
Yeah.
viewed by
Frank
other
Warren's on it
countries.
as well. The likes of BBC and Golden Boy have been doing it for years, but now, especially this side of the pond, it's more prevalent than ever because Riyadh is now taken over as the number one sort of residence of championship boxing now. So the United States and UK and the rest of the world, Japan, apart from the big stars, of course, that are dominating, the rest of them are actually scrambling for these gateway belts.
Yeah, absolutely. DJ Pat just said the US will love his style, flashy and showboating does sell
Yeah.
over there, and that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Raw Hogan put a good comment in there. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
He
It was
always
basically
does.
about him
He's brilliant,
ditching
Ra.
Queensbury. About him ditching Queensbury, basically. Yeah,
Good move.
Avoided Queensbury because they make him fight serious roster of light heavyweights. Yeah, completely agree with that, Ra, mate. Absolutely. It's like, look at the roster there. It's the only place with the light heavyweights. You've got Brad Rayo, you've got Lyndon Arthur, you've got Anthony Yard, you've got the serious geezers at that weight in Queensbury promotion stable. So I think he's jumped ship to try and get a little bit of an easier ride to get stateside and make a bit of paper first before he gets his first defeat.
I would hesitate to say easier ride. I would rather say a more strategic ride. Getting that WBC belt international is basically he's one eliminator away from the title fight. So whilst the others are all fighting the likes of Benavidez at Queensbury Yard and fighting for other title fights, Matchroom have seen a pathway to circumvent Queensbury in this situation with Whitaker without facing any of their big dogs. Nature of the game, mate.
Yeah, Japan is number one outside of Saudi for Hawkeye. Yeah, agree. Especially for the lighter weights. Let's be truthful. It's only the lighter weights that really matter in Japan. It's very rare you'll get a sumo wrestler who boxes. You know what I mean?
Well, they've, I think the last heaviest was that middleweight. Who was the middleweight title? That I think can't remember who beat him now. What was his name? Nakatani or something like that.
No, can't remember. Super bantamweight.
Not him. I can't remember his name now, but it was a couple of years ago. He was the middleweight champion. But you're right; they all happen to be, the real lightweights, bantamweight, super bantamweight, etc. And downwards.
Absolutely. Well, that wraps it up then. We both gave UDs on Ben Whitaker. So let's just do a couple from the undercard. We won't do the full card because we don't want to be here all night, do we, on a Tuesday? Boring everyone. Let's start with Cameron the One Vuong against Gavin Gwynn 2.
Yeah.
So this is a rematch. Gavin Gwynn lost the first one by UD, although it was a contentious decision. There was head clashes. It was a brawl. It was brutal. It was a really good, intriguing fight. So I'm happy we're seeing it again because everyone knows Gwynn comes to fight. He is one tough hombre. He's only lost to the best as well. He's only lost to Mark Chamberlain, James Tennyson. I say the best, decent. He beat Sean McComb. He's a good fighter, mate, and he could cause the young 23-year-old Cameron Wong some problems here. How do you see the fight going, Mr. Neutral, to be honest?
Some will say that Cameron Vaughn was very fortunate last time out against a very, hard battle and gritty Gavin Gwynn. It's what they've done since then that's going to be telling here. Cameron Vaughan's gone on to two good wins since, whilst Gavin Gwynn has had 1 6-rounder. And that could be the telling factor going into this fight. I think Cameron's on a much more upward trajectory rather than to what looks to me like a stagnant Gavin Gwynn. So I'm expecting a repeat performance to be another UD win, but this time a lot wider.
Yeah, a lot more conclusive. I'd agree with that completely,
Yeah.
mate. Yeah, there's 12 years between the guys. They're at different stages of their career. Everyone knows Gavin Gwynn for what he is. He's one of the toughest out there. He's a gatekeeper. You're not getting past him without a fight. But if Cameron, the one for one, wants to be anything serious, he needs to really deal with the matter and deal with it proper this time. He really does. He needs to basically dominate this fight to really redeem himself from that first one. But he's already had the Jordan Flynn win, which was a good win. He's got some other good wins. He's 23 years old. We need to see him step up to another level now if he wants to get to them superstar fights that he claims to want to get to. So, yeah, looking forward to that one, mate. That's a very intriguing fight for tomorrow night. So after that, then let's go to Aaron Bowen, the man from Coventry. He's undefeated, 7-0-0, 5 knockouts. He's going against Tom Cowling, who's got a decent record of his own, 14-1-0, 4 knockouts, never been stopped. His only loss was to Troy Coleman. No shame in that at all. Tough lad is Troy Coleman. How do you see this one going, mate, from the lad from Coventry?
Look, so, it's for a Midlands area vacant title.
Yeah.
Both guys have, they've won their shots at this. Cowling's the more experienced. You probably know a little bit more about Cowling rather than Aaron Bowen because he's a bit unexposed at the minute.
That war with James Todd, that was a fantastic fight where he got knocked down in the second and then stopped him in the fifth. That was a hell of a fight. We interviewed James Todd on Boxing Media Hub straight after that fight. And it made his career. It was an epic war. A real fun fight to watch.
Well, that's all part of the Aaron Bowen experience. You just don't know how good he is or how much he's been tested. He's only 7 fights in. So it's a bit more, you've got to see him before we can actually start, saying, yeah, where can this guy go? But he could do no more than beat Tom Cowling, but, handily, picking up that vacant title. Who knows where he can go from there? But steady as she goes, I would suggest with Aaron, because that one fight did, set alarm bells off, in his camp and his promoters. So, take it easy, don't overstretch him, and well managed, good career.
Yeah, completely agree, mate. I'm going for Aaron Bowen to win it by unanimous decision myself.
Yeah,
I don't think he'll stop Cowling. I think it'll be a tough fight, back and forth, but the Coventry man will come out on top. He always seems to find a way so far in his very young career, but he's an impressive guy. When he gets going, should be fun. And he wants Jimmy Sains or George Liddard next, says Mr. Hokum. I think that's a little bit of a step too quick, mate, in my opinion, especially Liddard. But you can understand why he'd want to.
I think even Jimmy Sains, it's a step too far for Aaron.
Yeah,
at this point,
that's a little bit too quick, to be honest. I get it down the line. I think
there's a good gap between English title and British level. I think there's a real good gap, and those gaps have to be crossed. Those bridges. So yeah, I think he's 2 or 3 fights away from English level, let alone British.
Yeah, I'd agree, mate. At least get him to 12-0 before you start thinking about, bigger steps. Right then,
Yeah.
so let's move over then to the Valiant Live in Derby. We'll go for the main event first because, you know, that's what most people are interested in. We've got Big Fraser Clark and we've got Jamie TKV. Now, this has been a bit of needle in the build-up and that, as you'd expect between two proud blokes, two proud heavyweights. There's a British title on the line, the vacant British heavyweight title. This is the kind of fight I like because you know they're going to put it all on the line. How do you see this one going, brother?
I mean, yes, a good British heavyweight battle. They would, outsiders would say they don't know much about these two. But the one thing I will say is Fraser Clark is the only boxer in the world that's gone the distance with Fabio Wardley and nearly won that fight. So having seen Fabio win his last fight, in the way he's done, that can only inspire Fraser Clark. And he's done nothing wrong. He knocked out Samuel Tete in one round in his reappearance since that defeat, which, bodes well after a knockout in that fashion that he suffered from Fabio in that rematch. A lot of people wrote him off already, and saying, "No, you should retire." I always precaution to the wind, when it comes to things like that. People recover from knockouts. And look at Lennox Lewis. He got knocked out twice. Come back.
Rackman done him in South Africa.
And
back.
Oliver McCall in 94. So you get these instances where boxers get knocked out in brutal fashion. You think, oh, that's the end of them. No, it wasn't. He's come back well. Now, Jamie TKV, that horrible fight with David Ardalay for the British title. We covered that on iBoxing Up, and it was got to be the worst boxing match I've ever witnessed.
Yeah, I did it on Boxing Media Hub at the same time. It was awful.
I mean,
scrappy do, weren't it? Scrappy do.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. It was because that was in April. We started in April the 20th. This is the week before.
It was the week before we started Red Corner.
Yeah, exactly. So we were still Boxing Media Hub when we last saw that fight with David Ardalay. David's moved on and won since. So again, it comes back to your sort of stagnancy against progress. I think Fraser Clark will win this by knockout. If I look to my prediction here that we done on Wednesday, very early knockout, round 2. I don't think he's going to mess about with TKV. He won't have a situation where he'll allow a David Ardalay type fight. He'll pick his target, he'll pick his moment, he'll time it, bang, knockout, round 2.
Fair play, mate. That's a good call. I've gone for round 6 because Jamie TKV, I know this sounds a little bit superstitious. He's been stopped twice and both in round 6 by Mercado and by David Ardalay. So he doesn't like the number 6. So I went for a Big Fraser stoppage round 6. I can just see a really good fight for a couple of rounds, and then Fraser starts to show his Olympic boxing level, just pieces him up a little bit. TKV gets a little bit angry, a little bit aggressive, gets caught. Fraser puts him to sleep, and that'll be all she wrote.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that assumption.
Lee Mack said, "Don't need Media Hub. We have the best channel on YouTube now." God bless you, mate. Thank you, Lee. Really appreciate it.
He's a good boy. He's a good lad. Thank
Absolutely.
You, mate.
So yeah, Fraser Clark, even though he's only relatively young in his pro career at 34, he's already beat. Like, he drew with Fabio Wardley and then got stopped in the first round. We all know about that when he fractured his skull. But he's beat Ebenezer Tete, he beat Dave Allen, he's beat Marius Wack. So it's not like he started at a low level. He started at a decent level. Decent operators in there. So he's a class act, and I think he'll do the job on Saturday night in Derby. And I can't wait for it, to be honest. I think this is a really good card. Just going to give a quick shout out as well. On the Birmingham card, you got Zelfa Barrett, Liam Dillon. You got Ibrahim Suleiman fighting as well. You got Molly McCann fighting against Ebony Cotton. So there's some good fun fights, mate. This is going to be some great weekend of watch-alongs for Red Corner Boxing. But let's move on to the next fight of the night. This is the co-main. It's not the Fran Hennessy fight. It's actually Bobby Dalton against Joel Kadoa. So we'll go to that one next from Derby. What you thinking to this one, matey? I like Joel. He seems a really, I don't know the lad. I've only seen him online and stuff, but he seems a really nice guy. I've seen a few interviews with him. He comes across well. He just wants to fight. And he's on a 2-streak knockout run as well. He's knocked out his last 2 men, and no fools either. Dan Francis and Lloyd Jermaine. They're not easy guys to knock out, and he's done the business. So I'm on Cadeau's corner for this one. I think he's going to stop Bobby Dalton. I really do. What do you think, Neutral?
I mean, I don't know about stoppage. I know Joe has got
2 in a row.
He's got two in a row, but that's his only 2. He's not known as a power puncher. Yeah,
No.
Maybe that's coming onto his resume, onto his arsenal as he progresses. But I'm not convinced that he's gonna knock out a guy that beat Ben Vaughn. With 2 dodgers on his side.
Yeah, that was the last fight, wasn't it? He beat Ben Vaughn, who's a decent operator.
Yeah, it was very good. So that was a decent marker for me with Bobby. But I still take Joe to take this fight by unanimous decision by about 2 or 3 rounds. I think his overpowering style, his dominant style, will prove too much over the course. But I do think the chin of Bobby will hold out, but it won't be for a victory in my eyes.
Fair play, mate. Yeah, fair call. And that's for the English welterweight title as well. So
yeah,
nice bit of hardware on the line. So
that
both men are going to be
title, yeah.
So another
Fine
one.
Up for it.
Absolutely, mate. So let's move on then to Francesca Hennessy against Fabiana Batiki. This is for the vacant WBC International Bantamweight title. The $1 billion baby has done nothing wrong in her career so far. She looks absolutely splendid. She looked amazing at the press conference and that. She looks the part now. She looks like she's geared up for stardom. I'm sold. I'm sold on the Fran Hennessy hype train. What do you think, Neutral? She's against a good fighter here who's only lost to Seren Settin and Tina Ruperek. So we're talking about 2 world champions, you know what I mean? She's lost 2. No shame in that at all, and she's had the 2 draws. How do you see this fight going for this vacant strap?
Oh, look, I'm going to be honest with you here. Fran Hennessy is probably more remembered for her ring walks than her boxing skills at this point in her resume. 6 wins, 6. You can't ask for more than that winning. However, I've not seen any evidence it's been by a blistering performance, maybe like a Dubois, maybe like a Serrano, a vicious finish. I'm not seeing any of that from Fran Hennessy. So for me, I'm not sold at the minute, mate. And Batiki is highly experienced, 26 fights, and has only lost 2 of them, and knows how to draw a worst with only those 2 defeats. So could we see a bit of a Norman Haney situation there where experience counts in this fight? I don't know. It's 10 rounds. It's the first time Fran is going to be asked to go this distance. She's unproven. So I'm hoping for a UD win as per my league prediction.
Same.
I still think she's got she should have enough from what I've seen to, let's see, tap dance her way to a win.
Yeah, and Batiki's moving up in weight as well, isn't she? She's normally
She is,
lightweight,
and that's the only thing in Fran's advantage. To be fair, is she's bringing up a girl from Superfly.
She started at Atom, so she started all the way down there. Tina Ruperek.
She's pound for pound. Let's get it right, because she's been winning going through the divisions. So she's pound for pound female fighter, top 15, whether you like it or not. But she keeps winning.
Yeah, you can't say for more than that. So we've both gone for a UD, Fran Hennessy said, but it's going to be tough for her. She's got to prove herself in the ring this time, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
To set up that TMA 8 fight, what a fight that'd be.
To justify the hype, I need to see a massive performance. I need to see a technical stoppage at least here against a very, very good, decent pound for pound boxer. That will set me up.
Yeah, fair play, mate. Fair play.
For what's been said.
Well, we'll move on to the last couple then here, mate, of the card. We'll get these in quickly. We've got Jack Massey against Ivan Garcia. We've got one Smack Massey, the cruiserweight. He's only lost to Opataya, to Joseph Parker, and to Richard Riakporhe. So he's fought at a very decent level. He's beat Isaac Chamberlain, no easy feat. And he's against Ivan Garcia, who's got 10 knockouts from 10 wins. He's also lost 4, been stopped twice, and 1 draw. He was stopped by Leonardo Mosquera in TKO round 9 last time out. So he's coming off a knockout loss, which always, for me, can cause a bit of problems. You know, coming back is the hardest thing in set from a knockout. So I think Jack Massey here might come start early, and one smack will get that smack in the 4th round and stop this man. What do you think, Neutral?
Totally agree, 100%. Round 4, I think he's not going to muck about with this guy, because this guy comes with a 10 out of 10 when he wins. So it's knocked out or be knocked out with this guy. He's been knocked out 3 of his last 4 fights. So, you know, it's going to be one of those situations. It's going to be fun to watch this fight, actually, because, you know, this guy's going to come out swinging, and Jack's going to have to, you know, have no nonsense, get this job done, because he needs to get back up there. Can't muck about with this guy. Get him done. 4 rounds maximum. Let's go, Jack. Move on.
Absolutely, mate. Couldn't have said it better. I'm just going to bring up DJ Pat's comment here. He just said TMA Ayton would play with Hennessy until she knocks her out. To be honest, at the moment, I'd have to agree. As much as I love the $1 Billion Baby, TMA Ayton looks like a different animal to me. She looks like she could win a world title right now if you put her in. I really believe that. She's
the Moses Atuma of female boxing.
Yeah, perfect analogy there, brother. That's exactly where I'd put it. Yeah. Just looks like she'd run through most. She could run through most. Hopefully we'll see that fight a bit further down the line when there's a little bit more money on the table. But you never know in boxing. One of them could lose. Batiki could stop Fran Hennessy on Saturday night, and then it's all gone to shit, isn't it? So you never know.
Yeah, she's got 5 knockouts to her name.
She's nobody's fool. She's nobody's fool.
It's nobody's fool. And tough Argentinian. Those Argentinians are tough.
Absolutely, matey. Absolutely. Right, let's get to the last one we're going to cover then, mate. Because we're not doing the GBM card. They want to put it on pay-per-view. We ain't going to cover the shit. So that's the end of that. So we've got Bradley Goldsmith going against Jordan Dujon. We've got Bradley Goldsmith 13-1-0. He's got the 9 knockouts. He's been stopped the once himself. And that was by Troy Coleman, a regular name we're bringing up today. Coleman seems to be upsetting everyone. And then we've got Jordan Dujon. He's got 10 wins. He's got no stoppages. And he's lost 5, but he's only been stopped the once himself. He was retired by Konstantin Ursu, who also fights on Sunday on the top tier card. Hopefully, me and Neutral will be covering that fight live for everyone. So we'll be doing a watch along on that on Sunday, hopefully, all being well. How do you see this fight going, mate? I myself, I'll just give my quick rundown real quick. Bradley Goldsmith, I think, is going to stop him. I think he stops him. I know he's only been stopped the one time. I don't know, Bradley Goldsmith, he's got a real spiteful, snappy punch on him, and I just think he's going to land that maybe around round 7. What do you think, brother?
Absolutely agree. I've got knockout round 6, and you're right about that snappy punch. 1 punch knockout in his last fight, Cesar. Great knockout. His opponent, Bradley's a late replacement. 5 defeats. When he gets to 10 rounds, he's severely outpointed. In his two 10-round outings. I think this will be he's a fella to be not to be unfair to him, and he's doing his bit to promote the fight, seeing his bit in the way in the pre-fight, in the press conference. He's doing his bit, but I think Bradley will play with his food for a few rounds and then have him out mid-rounds.
Yeah, I'm with you, mate. I'm with you. I'm thinking mid to 7. Yeah, definitely, mate. But so we've got a good weekend of boxing. We've got Hawkan just mentioned. We've got the Pro Box TV card as well. Yakubov fighting, always fun to watch. So check that out, guys. If me and Neutral are still up and we're still up for it, we might do a watch along of that as it's free. We're not paying for no more pay-per-views. We are tapped out. Over £600 each. £1,200 was spent between us just doing pay-per-views to do these watch-alongs for you guys. So I hope you appreciate it.
My children are thinner for it. and they're in their 20s.
That's it. But we do it because we love it. One last comment before we go. Fran Hennessy needs to get out at least 3 times a year. I'd say 4 times personally at her age, but yeah, definitely. Well, just thank you everyone for tuning in then. It's been an absolute pleasure having everyone. All the regulars have been in, which I love to see. I love it when our crowd come out for us.
Love
So
you
God
all.
bless you.
Thank you so much. You're all
Absolutely.
great. We love you.
We really do. And to everyone in America, happy Thanksgiving once again. I hope you have a great turkey dinner. Have the
And
best day
Jams.
possible.
And Jams, did you know, on top of our American friends, happy Thanksgiving as well to you guys. I was looking through our channel analytics there, and our audience, and 9% come from, or is it between 5 and 9% come from Russia? So to all our Russian fans out there, thank you so much for tuning into Red Corner Boxing. We truly appreciate you. Vas Vidania,
Absolutely.
I believe the the saying is over there. Salute, and also peace be upon you. Now, as you said, John.
Yep, we're going to be back. We're going to be back.
Great weekend of boxing coming up. Domestic.
We seem to be losing Mr. Neutral's comments there. Just basically what he's trying to say is, thank you everyone for tuning in. We've got a big boxing weekend coming up. We're going to be doing live watch-alongs. We'll let you know tomorrow what we're covering. We're going to be doing a lot. Let's put it that way. So make sure you join us here on Red Corner Boxing. Everyone take care. Salute. God bless. Happy Thanksgiving. And we'll see y'all soon. Take it easy, peoples.
I'm moving. I'm going.